everybody deserves great food. Everybody deserves to be engaged in their food system and in the food cycle, and to understand where their food comes from.
To be able to grow their own food.
And to be able to grow their own food and share their own food, which are things that are being threatened legally. There's just so much separation. People aren't engaged in this fight, or they don't think that it has anything to do with them. But it's like, it's a real and true thing that our ability to feed ourselves is being taken away. I dreamed up some things that I wanted to do when I got back to New York, and one of those was start a brunch with these two, and then the brunch idea became 718 Collective, which became a way bigger concept than brunch. 718 is sort of broken up into what Cresta has so lovely branded, eat, cultivate, and integrate. And so we have sort of like our community events or our meals and things like that. Then we have the urban agriculture, and then we have the education component. And so we're sort of wanting to hit people from all sides. Everybody comes to the table with like such diverse but overlapping skills. It was refreshing to meet like queer chefs who were not only skilled but also have like a vision for community involvement and for like food justice, and sort of see their food as a tool for that.
What's really unique about the idea of food justice is that it is maybe one of the only issues that affects everyone. Every plant, every animal, every human.
The world in general at this point is undergoing like a huge food crisis with like corporate control of farms, and and people not having control over what they eat, and it spreads. It's not just an isolated problem, because it completely spreads into all aspects of people's lives.
They are clear-cutting forests in Brazil to raise beef for American and European markets. Like that is a huge problem that spans the globe. You're talking about environmentalism, you're talking about international trade, you're talking about indigenous rights, you're talking about land rights, there's so many things that are going into all of these things. So the food really is like the thing that almost connects all of these other environmental and human rights and social issues. Yeah. Food is like the connecting thing.
Reaching people through food is a way to start that conversation about global justice, taking things into your own hands and trying to create the world that you want instead of like living under a system that you don't. Also starting to engage with people over like food and health, how to heal yourself.
How to really empower people.
Yeah.
We all live in what would be considered food deserts, where people can't reach fresh produce. So you can't even start a conversation about organic foods or about healthful living if people can't even access those foods. So a lot of what we're trying to do with like the classes that we want to get going, and with our dinners, with our meals that we try to like price at a point where a lot of people can come, is sort of opening that door to get more people in, to start those conversations with more people and help people understand that these issues affect all of us, and which means that everybody has a part in the solution and everybody has a part in this action.
It's really empowering, and you learn how to take care of yourself. That experience of going to the farmer's market, it's so different. You have all of these, like, you have smells, you have colors, you have, people to talk to. It's a whole different way of engaging with your food. And I think that's really beautiful. The other piece of that is the urban agriculture program, which not only are we having gardens, but we're having communal gardens, community farm share basically. So people who have, certain crops on top of their roofs will be able to get, if you have tomatoes here, you'll be able to get, onions and something from somewhere else. Really adding that piece of bringing the community together and sharing, and then really working together is very important to us also.
If we have a network of rooftop gardens, and like I'm on the animal front, and so I've got the chickens going. The house that houses the chickens, they don't have space for a garden, but they will have 21 eggs a week to share with somebody who's growing tomatoes. And so we are sort of going to be able to network among all of our sort of like satellite farms to create almost like our own CSA or own farm share, which in a place like New York, people think that it's so unattainable, but there's so much unused lost space here that can grow things and grow animals and grow food. having brunches, which, you know, that seems like, oh, it's just a fun community celebration, but really I think having those events pulls all of the like intangible, all of the like theoretical, philosophical stuff that we're talking about into like a plate of food, like atmosphere that is being set.
And food is a celebration. It's not just, you know, nourishment or just, you know, what you have to do before you go to bed or whatever, you know. It's a tradition that is for families and for community, for people to come together. It's a very vital part of life, and when you share that with people, it creates a strong community.